All right, ladies and gentlemen, brand new year. You know what that means. New driver release season. Starting things off in 2026 with a big one. Brand new TaylorMade drivers, Qi4D. Now, I'll be honest, TaylorMade had a very interesting year in 2025. A lot of their athletes winning all around the globe. However, not always using the latest driver. Well, this one has already gone into the bags of Rory McIlroy, Scottie Scheffler, etc. Does that mean this driver is the best they've ever made? Or are they just getting paid millions and millions to use it? Might be a bit of both. In this video, we're going to find out how good the new TaylorMade Qi4D drivers actually are. Okay, so there are 4 brand new TaylorMade Qi4D drivers. There is the standard model, there's a max model, an LS, and also a max light. I've got 3 of the 4 of those, but I've also got a 4th driver in there, which is quite unique. I'll talk about that in a little while. Slight new colourway for TaylorMade this year, almost this kind of navy / almost kind of dark greeny colour going on. Head cover's quite sleek, not really in your face, quite subtle for TaylorMade. And underneath, this is the standard model. This is the Qi4D. And I'll be honest, I think this looks unbelievable. Now, I was a huge fan of the Qi35, thought the space age look was very futuristic. I used it for most of the year, to be honest, in 2025. I think this one is going to be more appealing to even more golfers. I think the Qi35 is a little bit polarizing. They've gone for a slightly darker color scheme, still the carbon crown. We've got more weights on the bottom, which I'll come to. But TaylorMade are really focusing on 4Ds, hence the name Qi4D. They're talking about how this driver has been designed for speed, for distance, which obviously they all have, but this one in particular. And they've done that in 4 methods. First off, the face. They've re-engineered the carbon face, and it's the foundation of this driver. It's lighter than titanium, it's more speed efficiency, and also more durable. I know some of the carbon face drivers haven't lasted loads of time. There's been some issues there, but this is apparently even more durable. Then we move on to the head, more streamlined, more aerodynamic. It's ideal for increasing club head speed, therefore increasing ball speed, getting more distance. So they're the first 2 points. The third point, they're really talking about fitting this year. They have improved their fitting process across the board. So if you go for a TaylorMade fitting, from what I've been told, it is now really, really top. Like it's the best it can be. And they're really dialing a player into the product. And what comes on top of that, the 4th D, I mean, none of these actually start with D. But anyway, it's the shaft. They have used a new shaft here, and it's all about your release pattern. They'll video your swing, and there's 3 swing types. There's a high release, someone's quite handsy through the ball who kind of releases the club quite aggressively. Someone like a Charlie Hull, they use an example. There's a medium release, so someone like a Rory McIlroy who kind of obviously times that release up really nicely. And then there's a low release, someone like a Colin Morikawa who almost looks like he's holding onto the club for a long time. Now this isn't to do with club head speed at all, because that's down to the shaft, etc. This is more the profiling, where it is stiffer in the tip, etc. Anyway, that's a lot of talking. Let's do some hitting. I'm going to hit with the new Qi4D standard model first. Now, what I do like about the standard model, it's a bit of a throwback to the original R7 quad driver, because there's 4 weights, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. There's actually no draw bias model out this year with TaylorMade. It's the fact that they believe these weight systems make enough of a difference. If you wanted to put it in draw, you stick both of them in the heel, the heavier weights in the heel, it's supposed to help you fix that kind of slicey driver. I'm also, interestingly, when I got fitted by TaylorMade, we talked about obviously the new shafts, the high release, medium and low. I'm more of a kind of medium release player, but actually, overall, I actually tested better in the Ventus. Fujikura Ventus. So I'm actually going to hit this driver in this. 9 degrees, I've got the weights in the back, the heavier weights in the back, the 9 gram weights in the back, the 4 gram weights in the front. I do love the look of this driver, I really do. Behind the ball, it's gorgeous. I love that shaping. Right, let's give it a whirl. See how it can perform here in the HIT studio. Not a bad start. Now recently I have been picking up a little bit of speed. I've definitely been seeing the ball carrying closer to 290 yards. I'll be honest, that was a bit of a heely one. Didn't strike it great, ball speed's down, but distance was still up. It's a nice little kind of opener. Not perfect, but not bad. Also in this video, we take the drivers out on the course and do a fairway accuracy test. At the end of the video, I'm gonna do a ball speed test as well. New addition for 2026. I can hit it much better than that first one. Little fadey one, finding the fairway. Feels really good, sounds excellent. Again, I don't think it was my best strike in the world, but it wasn't terrible. Kind of just hitting these little fadey ones at the moment, quite enjoying them. Don't feel like I've absolutely middled one yet, but considering I didn't, that still performed really well. 3 fairways. Okay, I'm gonna hit a bunch of shots now. Let's get some data. These are 3 nice kind of openers, but let's put this driver through its paces. Ah, that was nice. Now we're seeing what this driver can do. Oh, yeah, that was really nice. Good numbers. I mean, 293 carry, 163 ball speed, 113 clubhead speed. I'll tell you what I'm impressed with. Much I've not struck at every single one great, a few in the heel. The dispersion has been phenomenal. Like I am hitting a lot of fairways here on the sim. Felt like I started to tap into its real potential. A couple of heely ones, like I mentioned, that still performed really well, but overall, very impressed with dispersion, very impressed so far with distance. Let's go on to the max version next. Okay, next head, Qi4D Max, more forgiving model. There are definitely differences here. First off being the weight system, there's just 2 weights, a 4 gram and a 13 gram. I've got a 13 gram at the back to give it its most forgiving setting. A couple of things I didn't mention earlier on is with this new face design, it's not only supposed to be faster, but also the radius of it has actually become more curved from bottom to top. Now, the benefit of that is that the spin, the really, really, really low spin, doesn't happen. So when you catch high off the face, that super, super low spin, which can plague a lot of players, doesn't happen. But also off the bottom, the really, really high spinny ones aren't supposed to happen either. So normally, if you had a tolerance like this of spin characteristics being really low and really high, it's now gone a little bit more like this because of the curvature of the face. We'll see that in the testing. From the first few shots I hit, I must admit, I didn't see any super low spins or really high spins with that first driver. The other thing I've not mentioned yet is price. It's obviously brand new, start of 2026. These drivers are priced at £549. Quite similar to last year's models. That's not changed that much really. But I also want to kind of, at the end of this video, be able to explain to you, is it kind of worth it? Is it enough of an upgrade? Or would you actually be better buying one that's a few years older, that's come down in price? Let's see. So this is the Max model. Definitely a bigger footprint behind the golf ball, like the head's been squashed down and been pulled back. So it's so much more confidence boosting as you set it up behind the driver, behind the ball, and should be super easy to hit. Oh, I absolutely smoked that one. Yeah, fantastic golf shot. That just behind the ball just looks it looks a bit more like the shape of a ping driver without obviously the turbulators. Like it kind of just sits with a bit more presence behind the ball. I like that. Oh, this feels really easy to hit. Sounds a bit different to the kind of base model, the normal model. A little bit more high pitched. I suppose again, that's the different head shape slightly. But it feels fantastic. Performance is really good. Good carry distance, good ball speed, finding fairways, tick, tick, tick. I like it. That was nice. A little bit higher flighted as well with this driver. Really good drive though, wow. 313 total, yes please. That's an interesting one, that. I'll be honest with you, that strike was terrible. Really heely, really off the bottom. And I'll be honest, I looked up and I was like, oh, that's a lower ball flight. That's not gonna get me much distance. I was wrong. It felt awful, really low, really heely, yet I still got phenomenal numbers with it. It pulled left, it would miss fairway, but like everything else across the board is really solid still. And that was the worst feeling strike I've had so far in this test. This driver's for forgiveness, and TaylorMade haven't always been great at forgiving drivers, that shot honestly really impressed me. I wouldn't have seen that with Qi35. I wouldn't have seen that with Qi10. I would have expected that ball to land 30 yards shorter than what it actually did. I'm not even trying to smash these. They're all landing close to 290 carry. It is nice. It's a cool, really, really cool design. I mean, it looks like an F1 car. Like you can kind of see the shaping, even the colorway. It's modern still, but maybe not as out there as the Qi35. Interestingly, I don't know if you've seen images of this, Scotty Scheffler, the one he's using, he's still using the face from the Qi10, the blue face. Interestingly. I think some of that, from what I've read, is he thinks that the blue face looks like there's more loft behind the ball when he hits it. Or is that face better? Who knows? Okay, the next driver in the lineup is the Qi4D LS, the low spin. Somewhat similar to the Max in some ways, because it's only got 2 weights. It's a more squashed in head, still 460, but it's nowhere near as long from front to back. It's deeper, a little bit more squashed in, designed for more speed, more suited for a faster clubhead speed, for a slightly better player. There's 2 weights, there's a 15 gram and a 4 gram weight. Now I got fitted for this driver by the guys at TaylorMade. They actually put the 15 gram weight in the front, so this could be a bit of a bomber's club. You'll also be wondering, I mentioned before about 4 drivers. Well, the last driver in the bag here is an optional extra. If you have a launch monitor like a QI, like a GC Quad, too many letters and numbers, GC Quad, you can actually get this model, which last year was really just a fitting head, but this one actually has the reflective dots built into the face, so that if you are hitting it on GC Quad, it actually operates so much better rather than sticking the dots on that I normally have to do. There is a slight upcharge, I think it's like $35 for it. I'll be honest, I wish they'd kind of just put it on every head, but I suppose not everybody's going to need it, are they? Pretty cool little way. I think you'll see a lot of tour pros probably using that model with the reflective dots in the face. And because they're built in, that means they're legal to use in competition too. Right, let's give this a whirl. Qi4D LS. I'm expecting some big numbers with this. Once I've hit this in kind of normal mode, we're also going to jump out on the golf course, see how they perform out on the course and do a fairway accuracy test. And then we'll come back to the studio and do a speed test with this driver, like ball speed test, because I think I'm going to get some record numbers with this driver. Right, behind the ball, definitely different shape than the standard and the Max, more squashed in. Actually, just right here at the back, this kind of back ridge on the other 2 models have this slight graphics that almost frames the back of the head. The LS version does not have those on. So it's a little bit different looking, but obviously you can still tell it's a Qi4D. Now, I'm a little bit worried about how low spin that was. That was borderline kind of dropping out the sky, but carry 299 yards. Interestingly, ball speed wasn't ridiculous, but the spin rate dropped dangerously low, which again, with these new face designs, shouldn't be doing that. Shouldn't be that low. 11 yards offline, 299 yards of carry, 327 yards of total distance. We're taking that every day. We just need to, that low spin's a little bit of a concern. Yeah, that's the concern with it. And that's a little bit what I saw with the Qi35 last year. I knew I was hitting that longer. I was using the LS version last year. But I mean, that's just dropping out the sky. And as soon as it starts dropping out the sky, it goes left on me. It's fast, definitely. I think I need to commit to this driver if I'm gonna hit it in this setting. I need to commit to the speed, because the speed will increase the spin and will get me back online. Yeah, just a bit more speed keeps the spin on it. Really good numbers again. Yeah, one little bit more ball speed, a little bit more spin. Just still, I mean, that's gonna find right rough, but I mean, it's a great drive. That was the best of the best. That was the best of the best. That's kind of marrying everything up. The clubhead speed, the ball speed was up, the spin rate was more fitting to that kind of 2000 mark. This driver is longer, without question. Like that carried 304. It's just in this setting, and it is in a low spin head and the weight's forward. It's dangerously low spin, but I have to kind of up the club head speed to keep that spin high. But even if you look there at the graph on the grid on the left, all of the yellow dots are the furthest, but they're a little bit more spread out right to left, which you kind of somewhat expect. Let's head out into the course, see how this fares out on the course, and then we'll come back here and do some speed testing. Okay, fairway accuracy test, kicking things off with TaylorMade Qi4D. This is the standard model first. Three fairways. Okay, standard model, 7 out of 10, 70%, and even the 3 that I missed weren't bad at all. Okay, next up, Qi4D Max. Oh no. Okay, wow, it was doing so well. I just missed the last 2 left and one previous to that. But when I say left, I mean semi-rough. However, it still got 7 out of 10, 70%. Okay, next up, Qi4D LS. Oh, you idiot. Wow, surprised me. It was not only the longest, but also 8 out of 10, 80%. Right, back to the studio. Okay, before I come on to the speed test, and I do think we're gonna set some records today, talk a little bit about these shafts. So TaylorMade have partnered with Mitsubishi, famous obviously shaft brand, for these 3 released shaft options. You've got high release, medium release, low release. I think to simplify this, it's almost helping a golfer who, let's be honest, the world of shafts is crazy. Like if you went for a fitting, you have 100 shafts in front of you, like, oh God, it's very overwhelming. Well, apparently now through just one video swing, and I'm sure it's probably gonna be done online even, from face on, a fitter should be able to tell what kind of release pattern you are, whether you're high release, whether you use the hands quite aggressively through the shot. As again, use Charlie Hull as an example of that. Or if you're very, very low release, almost like a Dustin Johnson or a Colin Morikawa through the ball, it's going to suit a different kind of tipped profile. So I think for me, it's more of a fitting tool, a filtering system that's going to help get golfers into the right profile of shaft. I have hit a few of them, couldn't tell a great deal of difference, but I think for the right golfer, being in the right release is going to help. Don't think it's going to be a massive factor, but it is going to help. And once I've done this bit of a fun challenge, then we're going to dive through all of the testing so far today and give you a bit of an idea of how these Qi4Ds have performed across the board. Almost the swing rules go out of play here. 10 driver shots. How fast can I make this ball go? For me, anything over 170 is a massive achievement. Let's see if we can set a new PB. That could be it. That's it, that's it. 172, wow. 118 club head speed, 172. And what's wild, 4.9 yards off line. It's one of the straightest and longest drives I've ever hit. 120 club head speed. This is gonna be fast. 173. Oh, it could be big. Oh, 170. 173, fastest ball speed. And to be honest, a new PB. Okay, let's dive into the numbers. Now, I really feel like I've given these drivers a thorough test through this video. We've done everything with these drivers, tested the full 3 models, and I'll be honest, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. TaylorMade, very much known for their distance and speed. I think there's an underlying level of forgiveness with these drivers that isn't getting talked about. I think these drivers tick almost every single box. I love the looks. I think, again, this year, I love Qi35. I think this is it's a blacked out version of a Qi35. I think it looks really, really sleek. Feel-wise, sound-wise, yeah, tick all the boxes. Performance, solid across the board. And actually, all three drivers do offer a little bit of difference. Let's start off with the standard model first. I think the standard model, as the name would suggest, is going to be the driver that goes across the board for most golfers, from really good players to higher handicappers. I think with the 4 weight ports, you can be quite creative where you put those weights. Again, if you want to be a bit more draw bias, you can be, a bit more fade bias, you can be. Weights at the front, weights at the back. It's a nice head shape, it's not too big and flat. I think it ticks a lot of boxes. Numbers wise, very impressive. Qi4D, 160 miles per hour ball speed, 2000 spin, 290 yards of carry. Good, really solid. Average club head speed 113 miles per hour, like really ticking a lot of boxes. I think there's a couple of times where it just span a little bit low, but nothing crazy, like really solid. The Max unbelievably impressed me. Now the Max, without even kind of trying, definitely has a little bit more of a draw biased, whether that's the head shape. It's so much more comforting behind the ball. You sit it down, you're like, oh, here we go, it's an old friend, this is going to help me hit a driver straight. And it's definitely just got a little bit of a left bias in it, but the numbers are still very impressive. 288 carry, a little bit more spin, it's what you want from a Max driver. Good ball speed for me, 161 miles per hour, like really solid again across the board. The monster, the Qi4D LS. I think in the setting I had it is not me being able to play on the golf course with it. However, we did see great numbers when I did the fairway accuracy test. It's got 80% of fairways hit. The bad one did go left, but not bad. In that setting with the 15 gram weight at the front, we did see some knuckleballs. We saw some low spin when I wasn't swinging out my boots at it, but we see 298 carry, massive. 163 miles per hour ball speed, massive. Nearly 115 miles per hour club head speed, really, really good. And then we go to the speed test when I was just smashing the LS as hard as I could. We saw a record 173.3 miles per hour ball speed. It's a record for me. 303 carry distance when I was smashing it as hard as I could. 168 ball speed on average, very good. I think across the board, I think if I was to use one, normally I'd go standard. If I was feeling a bit spicy and was swinging fast, I could go into LS. I think majority of golfers will be switching between, they'll be somewhere between standard, and if you want a bit more help and forgiveness, the Max. I can see why a lot of TaylorMade athletes are genuinely using this driver this year. Is this the best driver TaylorMade have made? Yes. This is the best line of TaylorMade drivers ever created. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, lots more to come. We'll see you very soon.